Okay, everybody, welcome to video number 2. I got a comment recently. Well, I guess recently. I just uploaded the other video. I got a comment that was like, I can't believe your physicians didn't catch this sooner. That's awful of them. So I thought I'd lead off by like this kind of the story on how we, kind of noticed my thyroid. And I figured I would finish it off by singing a song. I'm so nervous about it. Whatever. Okay. So we first noticed that my thyroid had some abnormalities when I was about 16. I think I was 16, 15 or 16, something like that. I had been having abdominal pains, and in retrospect, they weren't like terrible abdominal pains, but my mom and I were both like, oh my god, let's just go to the ER just in case, because what if it's something horrible? And like a year ago, I learned that apparently teenagers can have some pains in weird spots as they're growing, and it has something to do with like their lymph nodes. And it kind of described exactly the problem that I was having. So I was like, oh, well, but we went in, and the doctors were like, well, we don't really know what it could be, so let's go ahead and just do a CT scan. So they did. They ran me through the machine, and eventually they came back, and they're like, so we didn't find anything in your abdomen. If the pain continues, come on back. But we did know that there were some like lumps on your thyroid, some nodules. I would definitely go see an endocrinologist about that, maybe get an x-ray, and they can kind of take a closer look. And we're like, oh shit, okay. And I can't remember if at that time, it was possible that I had been seeing an endocrinologist prior to that. I think, I can't remember, but both of my sisters and I have PCOS, and I think my mom had already been concerned that I had hypothyroid, because I was cold all the time. I still do suffer pretty harshly from cold spells if I don't move for a while. Like if I'm just sitting in one spot, I get really cold, and also because I have very thin nails. And probably some other reasons, whatever. I have like exhaustion issues, whatever. We thought that I might have some thyroid problems, I think, prior to that. We did a blood test, and my doctor put me on Synthroid for a while. And we did like a fine needle aspiration, which is where they find the nodules in your thyroid with an ultrasound, and they use a fine needle to poke into the nodule and like extract tissue so they can do a biopsy. And my older sister and I both got that done. It was way more painful for her for some reason, but it wasn't too bad for me. And they didn't find anything weird. They're like, yep, they're just some bumps. We'll keep an eye on them in the coming years, but they're non-malignant, so you're probably fine for now. And I was like, okay. And like a couple years later, I went back to the endocrinologist, and she's like, we could probably take you off the Synthroid. And I was like, okay. And then I kind of never went back because I didn't really like her office, and the wait times were always ridiculous. Like your appointment would be at 11 and she wouldn't see you till like 11:30. Whatever. Not the point. I think probably a year ago, 2 years ago at least, my mom had really been like, like I'm looking at your neck, and I think like she saw this, and I was just like, it's just my neck. I'm just kind of fat. It's fine. But she's like, I really think that that's your thyroid. Like it moves when you swallow. I'm really concerned about it. And I think in June of 2017, in June of 2017, I went and I saw a new endocrinologist. It took me a long time to like muster up the motivation to get there. And he was like, he did, what was it? I think he did, or was it in October? I can't remember. At some point I went to him and he was like, okay, so I can do an ultrasound right here in the office. I was like, oh, hell yeah. So he did, and he noticed that it was kind of pressing on my windpipe a little bit. And he said, well, it's pretty large. It looks like some of the nodules you had kind of grew together into one big one. And it's pressing on your windpipe a little bit. If you'll look here at the picture, and he showed me there was like a little indent on it. He's like, but if this isn't like affecting your breathing right now, if it's not really affecting how you like swallow food and drink, then I wouldn't be too concerned about it. We'll take another ultrasound in 6 months or so, and we can see if there was any growth. Because if there is significant growth over the course of 6 months, we probably will want to get it removed. But for now, nothing looks malignant, nothing looks cancerous, so I think you'll be okay. So I set an appointment for about 6 months later, but then I moved to Minneapolis. and that was around December, January. And I came back down to Texas in July, and my mom was like, whoa, no, your thyroid has definitely grown since I've seen you. I haven't seen you in 6 months, and it looks bigger. Go find a new endocrinologist. I'm really worried. So almost immediately when I came back from Houston, I set up an appointment with a GP and then an endocrinologist, and I was like, I think I need to get my thyroid out. My mom's really worried about it. I've had an ultrasound done, and he's like, yes, you probably need to get it removed. Raise your hands over your head, and I did. And he's like, how long do you think you could hold that? I was like, well, I've got decent stamina. I could probably hold this for a while. He's like, okay, because your face is turning really red, which indicates that it's blocking off your blood vessels when you raise your hands. I was like, oh. So he's like, yeah, so we can remove it now. It's probably better to do it now than in 10 years when it would be too difficult to do without damaging a lot of things. And I was like, okay, that's fine. I was kind of, I figured that this would happen eventually. I figured that this would be the case. I've known people who have had their thyroids removed for various medical reasons. So I was like, okay, that's fine. I'm ready for it. And now I have the surgery scheduled in January. It's December right now. And the appointment is for January 7th. Today is December 30th. So a little more than a week. I'm a little bit nervous. I'm not super nervous about the surgery itself. I'm more just nervous about life after, with having to take medications every day, and also my voice. I'm really not good at taking medications on a kind of fixed schedule. Never been good at it. I'm going to have to get good at it for my own health. So we'll see how that goes. It's really funny. The surgeon looked at my ultrasounds, for the, not necessarily the pre-op, but we did have an appointment to kind of go over how it would all go. And he's like, your thyroid has grown 3 times the size it's supposed to. And I'm like, yeah, it's kind of wild, right? I'm starting now, within the past 6 months or so, to feel I can feel it pressing on my windpipe. I can feel it kind of blocking my blood vessels. It gets very uncomfortable when I have to zip my coat all the way up because it's putting very light pressure on it, which makes it a little bit hard to breathe. It's like, whoa, I'm really starting to notice this now. So I'm kind of glad. I'm glad we're getting it out of the way. In 8 days, it will be gone for good, and I won't have to worry about it anymore. So that's pretty nice. Whatever. But yeah, and then I went for my pre-op with my GP a few days ago, and she was like, it's 3 times the size that it's supposed to be. And I'm like, yeah, yep, I know that now, and I'm kind of, worried about it. None of my doctors seem to worry that it might be cancerous, which is good. And they're going to do a biopsy. What's it called where they check it for cancer? I knew the word a week ago, and now it's gone. Whatever, they're going to check it for cancer, and they're pretty confident it's going to come back negative. Who knows why it's grown the way it has? Apparently, sometimes thyroids just do that. That happened with my Nana's thyroid, too, I think when she was about my age, and she got hers removed, so. I guess this sort of thing kind of runs in the family. Alright. So, for singing, one of my coworkers requested that I sing a Steven Universe song, and I was thinking maybe Love Like You, that Rebecca Sugar wrote and sings at the end credits of most, if not all, of the series. I think I know that there's a few episodes that end with silence, but whatever. Oh, do I have to look at the camera for this, you guys? I don't think I'm gonna like have a look at the ceiling. I'm sorry, I'm really nervous about it, so here we go, okay? I'll try to sing loud. I'm really embarrassed about it. Alright. If I could begin to be half of what you think of me, I could do about anything. I could even learn how to love. When I see the way you act, wondering when I'm coming back, I could do about anything. I could even learn how to love like you. Love like you. I always thought I might be bad, now I'm sure that it's true, 'cause I think you're so good, and I'm nothing like you. Look at you go, I just adore you. I wish that I knew what makes you think I'm so special. If I could begin to be... No, fuck. Damn it. Sorry, guys. If I could begin to do something that does right by you, I would do about anything. I would even learn how to love. When I see the way you look, shaken by how long it took, I could do about anything. I could even learn how to love like you. Love like you. Love me like you. And that's it. Yay, I did it. I did the singing thing. Oh god, that was really embarrassing. I don't know if the camera can pick up on it, but I am blushing really hardcore. So I'll probably upload another song video tomorrow with just the music, unless any of you have questions that you want me to answer regarding my thyroid, regarding my move to Minneapolis. I mean, pretty much anything. I'll answer most questions that aren't like too personal or won't kind of like give away where I live and, you know, shit like that. But yeah, if you have any questions or comments, leave them down below and I will try to address them in my next video. I'm thinking next time I might sing, whatever, it doesn't matter. I'll sing something. If you have suggestions, you can put them in the comments. I might not do them. I probably won't do them. My voice is not great for a lot of songs. I have like a handful that I kind of like. I'm like, oh, I sound good with this song. I'm just going to sing this one. Oh, I sound good with this one. You know, stuff like that. I feel like there's a lot of people like that do stuff like that. I hope there are. But yes. So if you have any questions or comments, leave them below. And I'll see you guys next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.